Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of ArmTalx. My name is Kevin Castillo, aka Nivek.
And my name is Vega, and today we have a special guest coming from all the way from Texas. So he's gonna introduce himself. He's one of the OGs from Texas. So we're gonna learn a little bit about him today.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Joey Akuna. Shout out to all my Bronzeville dancers, Houston, Dallas, Austin. We out here.
That's right.
Nice. Okay, so thank you for being here with us.
Absolutely.
I know that it was a long trip from Texas all the way to here to California, and we appreciate you being here. So I would like to start a conversation with you, kind of more with your experience, your background in the Electro Dance community. And I would like to know how many years you've been dancing, and also what's your exact story of how you got started? What got you hooked to Electro Dance?
Okay, yeah. So I actually started dancing in 2009. My first dance move ever was the moonwalk. So it was around when MJ passed, when he died, and from there I was a lot on YouTube, and I was looking randomly. I was looking at fights in school, from the secundaria there in Mexico, and they started dancing, man, and they started dancing tectonic, and it really caught my attention because
¿Qué secundaria? What middle school?
Una tech, quién sabe cuál de todas. I'm not gonna be able to remember.
But what city was this?
I don't remember. It was such a long time ago, but it was probably down south of Mexico.
Okay.
But I saw it, and people in I used to see people in my high school that used to do glow sticking and stuff, and I thought that was cool. But for some reason, this one just caught my attention better. Watching the tectonic videos, the branding and all that. It was just it was good, and I feel like it fit me. And basically, it's been about 15 years, but not consecutive. I maybe stopped maybe around 2015, and then probably altogether I stopped 2 or 3 years, something like that. But
So you started around 2009, right?
2009, 2010, I would say.
Vega likes to go by numbers, so
Yeah, I'm a numbers guy, so I just
Okay.
I just need to know what year and everything, just because I like that.
Yeah, in 2009 is when I got presented to it, and in 2010 is when I started getting serious about it. Because I remember there was actually people in my hometown there in Bronzeville. They were doing events. They were battling each other. Crew DWB and some other guys there from old school. A long time ago. But
So who's the real OG from back then in Texas?
the real OG.
Don't say to me trash.
Another question. What do you consider an OG? Because I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, they say OG is someone that started years ago, but I feel in my perspective is an OG counts more the people that have put a lot of work in the dance community, who has put more work in your dance community in Texas over there? Who would you consider? Because I feel like that's more of an OG, because there's two differences from actually being in the field than just watching and doing here and there, but that's another thing. But what is your perspective?
I want to say definitely the OG back in the day was Ace, who pretty much brought us together. Some of the guys that did events was Charlie. Shout out to Charlie out there in South Carolina.
Shout out Charlie.
Also DWBs, who started the dance crew. They started pretty much doing meetings at parks and stuff, and that's how I found out there was a community in my city. But I want to say an OG would be Ace, because he pretty much brought us together here in Texas. He brought Corey from Houston, Eder, and some other dancers from over there. and he would like shoot us videos, you know, and he was just he was a great guy. Yeah,
He was like the technology from
Texas.
from
Yeah,
LA.
yep, that's it. But yeah, may he rest in peace, because he's not here
Rest
with
in
us.
peace. Okay, so when was the first Vertifight in Texas?
The first Vertifight, I was actually not present, but I was in the second Vertifight, and I can't even think the years. I think it was 2011, like early 2011, when the Vertifight happened. But I know the first Vertifight, the final was Ness and Tommy Trash.
Tommy Trash, yeah.
Which,
Tommy
Trash
Trash.
took it, yeah.
It's always been good ever since then, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He's been the OG in Matamoros and Brownsville.
He's like a natural.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so in your experience, well, how many other states or places have you kind of traveled to that there is an Electro Dance movement? I mean, besides Texas.
Well, I did went to events in Matamoros across the border. Went to Emotions, Operas Electro. A community electro that I've been to. I would say there's not any. I was in Virginia. It was
No, I feel like that's something we need in the Electro Dance community. We need community, especially here in the U.S. because there's not a lot. One thing I have to acknowledge is the SD dancers. They're building that, you know. So shout out to them, and I mean anybody else that's watching from the U.S. That's something we need to build. You know, a community in each state or whatever you are. You know, that's something we gotta create and start building and start leaving our seats, you know, because, you know, that's the only way Electro is going to continue to evolve.
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, so shout out to the San Diego dancers.
Yeah.
Okay, so in Matamoros, who's kind of like the main representation over there in Matamoros? Because I really don't know a lot of people from Matamoros that are Electro dancers.
So definitely the elements of electro, but we do have some people that organize it. Like Sergio Craig was one of the organizers of Emotion, and I believe someone else, but I can't think of his name top of my head. But they were the main ones, and there was definitely more dancers in Matamoros than it was in Brownsville back in the day. And it was cool because like I was in Brownsville, like we would see the Matamoros dancers, and we're like, oh man, like that guy, like, you know, like they go hard, like they really were like, you know, a little above us, and that would motivate us. that would motivate us, you know, because we were like, they would come over to Brownsville, we would go over there, and we just grew.
Yeah, that's something that I have to acknowledge, that Mexico has always been kind of like a little bit better than the US. Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to ask you more of a personal question in regarding of how you improved your style over the years. What is it that what has worked for you to improve your style, and what hasn't? For example, my way that I practice is basically in front of a mirror. Vega, the way he practices, he's not in front of a mirror, but he's more kind of like in front of a camera, and then he watches the videos, and then he's kind of like, he's able to pick things up over there. So I would like to know, what is it that you've done over the years that you've improved your style since when you started up until right now?
That's a interesting question. Since I started, I've always liked the Russian style, like the fast hand movements.
Russian style, man.
Back in the day, but like I never actually like. I remember I used to be like, oh, like my style is changing, and like, you know, I could feel it just by like practicing, like, you know, and then like a couple months later, it's like, oh, like I feel like I have a different style. But I feel like it's something like that you find eventually throughout the years. Like it's just called, it's like kind of like putting it together, and then you just kind of become like your own unique style. You know what I mean?
Definitely. How do you learn? Was it YouTube? I'm pretty sure it was YouTube, right?
I started with YouTube with how to tectonic video.
What was the first video that you saw?
It was actually from a tutorial. Like it was a kid like on YouTube. He was just showing me.
Was it the Asian guy?
Yes, that guy.
I feel like everybody-
He's my sensei. That's definitely my sensei.
Include his video on the podcast because it's already 2 people that have told us.
Last time we interviewed Kid. We interviewed Kid from Avid from LA here, and he said that he also watched that video. I guess because I remember watching that video too. Like when in my story when we talked about how we learned about electro, I said that I was going. My friend showed me a shuffle video. And then after that, like I started looking into more videos and stuff like that, and I came across that same video of an Asian kid, doing the basic moves,
the
this and
basics.
that. And then I felt like that's the video that everybody watched. So that's something that I guess every electro dance is connected to. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
But so how do you see the electro dance in Texas like evolving as of now? Where do you see it going?
Right now, I think there's definitely a big opportunity window for electro dance to become bigger and to become a big community. I feel like styles in music, or even sometimes clothing, or they come and go, and electro dance, like electro music, was kind of like let out, like it wasn't being listened to, like maybe like because people got into dubstep or other types of genres. But there's and I think this is gonna happen. Like I hope so. Like electro music's gonna come back, but it's gonna come back a little different. It's gonna be more, and I think it's leaning more toward like break beats, because I go to a lot of shows. Like I go to like bass music shows and raves and stuff, and I've been noticing like there's for example, there's this DJ called Detox Unit, but he plays electro break beats but with bass music, and it's totally danceable for electro dance.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
So I think the music industry, the electronic music industry, is gonna lean towards that. So that's great for us, because we are gonna put something different on the table, and it's a dance style that's been out for years already, and it's already like more solid and constructed. So I think electro in Texas. And I've been to like different dance studios in Austin and Houston, so I think, and they are taking it like more serious. So I think it's gonna be a really good chance that if we put in the work, it's gonna definitely turn out.
So now that we're in the topic of music, how do you feel about the music of electro dance now? Because I feel like a lot of like electro dance in Mexico, they dance to a lot of like hard music, like the heavy. But then if you look at Russia, they do both, like the hard, but they also do like the more groovy, like house music. And then France, they do everything as well.
Yeah.
But how do you feel like, should we implement that also as well here in the US, or do you think it's like, because I notice a lot of electro dancers, they have a hard time, switching or adjusting to a different type of music. So I feel like that's something we should implement, so that our dance doesn't just stay stuck in electro. We could also dance to hip hop or other styles. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's definitely like for sure we should listen to more different styles, like not just the hard electro, because that way like you start exploring different ways in your dance with different kinds of music. It's kind of like the same if you go and compete in all styles music. Like you're pretty much learning different things, and you even learn your style or but I love the hard electro music. Like it's It's very powerful, and it kind of goes with the style because it's aggressive.
Yeah, I love it. I love it too. One thing, like, don't get me wrong, like, I love it too, because it's just, that's where we're, like, I feel like all of us, you know, grew up with that. So that's something we just have, like the hard hits, and that's something that I think it helped build what electro is now, you know, the harder instrumentals. But I feel like if we want to evolve and be at the same level as other styles, we have to also, like, you know, implement that in our style.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the I believe it's called electro breaks. It's kind of like break beats, but they use electronic like style. And then they have techno and all that. But I've been dancing to, like, practicing to that kind of music, and it's definitely, like, it leveled me up a lot, because eventually, like, I would like to go compete in Europe and other countries, and I want to be prepared, you know. So I think a lot of music producers, like, they got the break dance beats, and they're pretty much putting electronic music sounds. You know, they do sound designs and all that, and they combined it. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying with, like, DJs. Like, I noticed that some DJs are leaning to that, but they're applying, like, their bass sounds. So it's kind of like a DMB. I don't know if you guys heard DMB.
Yeah, drum and bass.
DMB, drum and bass. It used to be with techno. You know, techno sounds. But now it's like freaking, like, bass sounds and, like, so music keeps evolving, man, and we're definitely gonna be dancing not just to, like, hard electro. Like, we're gonna have to be dancing to anything.
This is something interesting that Joy is bringing, because I never heard of, like, this type of stuff. So this is, I guess, another topic that we could, like, all the electro dancers start, like, digging into more, so that we could learn and, you know, start sharing all of that knowledge, so that we could grow as a community, like I said, and I guess deeping ourselves more into the music and learning the roots of it and what it really means is something that I guess that's something we had to do it since the beginning, you know.
Yeah.
But it's pretty dope that he's bringing it up, so that, you know, whoever's watching could start making their investigations and you know, go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I consider what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I think in order for us to be able to compete with other styles, I mean, I think that type of music, it's really good, just because of, I mean, it has a lot of things that we can just play with musicality from, and not just that, but also, like, improve our style as well a lot. Absolutely. I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I want to ask you, based on your style, who do you reference from ever since the beginning up until right now? Like, have you been inspired by other dancers, like, and applied in your style, or is it more kind of like it's just from other styles, or what? Like, who do you reference to?
You mentioned the Russian, so maybe a Russian dancer?
Yeah, definitely the Russian has the Russian style had a lot of influence back in the day, like Sabra. Oh, they're
Sabra, man.
They're pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why they just fell apart, but, like, that was one of the best crews in the world, man.
I want to say Looney Boy was my favorite.
Hey, that's
Looney Boy. He's still,
yeah, Looney Boy. If you're watching this, man, yeah, we look up to you.
Yeah, he definitely was my top favorite back when I was starting dancing, and I wanted to learn the fast arm movements and all that. And not only that, when we were in high school, Tommy actually came into my school, and
nice.
That's when I met him, and he basically had, like, such an influence on me. Like when I dance, it's like, you know, a lot of the dance is like I learned from him, you know, especially, like, the arm movements and stuff. So just by watching him or you know, just dancing together, definitely got a big influence from him.
He has a lot of complexity when it comes to arm work. I feel like that there's a lot of complexity in it. That's something that I think not a lot of dancers brought ever since, you know, back then in 2012, because he's been dancing for a long time now. and
he's
yeah,
definitely an OG.
yeah, like the complexity of his artwork is just is something to actually kind of study, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's kind of like the style that I went to, because he does a lot of illusion, and that's kind of like what
Illusion.
I do, and yeah, it's having illusion is very powerful in your dance.
Your dance, yeah.
Okay, so it was Tommy Trash, it was Looney Boy, anybody from it was Sebra, anybody from France specifically, or anybody from Italy, or another one from Mexico, or you will say that was it.
I want to say those two, and definitely. I mean, right now, Goku's definitely, one of the ones that, it's like, man, like I wanna get better. This guy is just insane.
Yeah, we have a different perspective between Vega and I, because I'm saying, like, right now Kevin Table is possibly like the best one, but Vega says that it's Goku. Yeah.
Well, I feel like every dancer has like its moment, like, because if you look at, I don't know, 5 years ago, you will say I don't know, Jarus, or Skips. He was the big guy, and then as time goes, I feel like everybody has their moment. So, but Goku, as of now, I think he has the best style, and is like the more complex dancer that everywhere he goes, either it's hip hop or All Stars Battle or electro, he's gonna kill it, and he doesn't have
same thing with Kevin Table though.
Yeah, but he doesn't have. Well, they're kind of like the same similar style, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean
Because they have the shapes like
they're the
this.
same roots, but they're not that similar, I would say.
Yeah. Well,
This is just an assumption, but I think Goku definitely been dancing for a long time, or at least like
longer than
the style that maybe Neutron was doing some other types of dance style, because you can kind of see like his style is like, it's you can see it as unique, because it's very different from what I'm used to seeing, but I don't know their stories, but that's just what I assume.
yeah. No, but definitely, like I said, it's just, this is the beauty of dancing, because like everybody has the different perspectives, and then something we could like battle or debate, whatever, and then that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But
Definitely.
let me ask you: were you ever in a crew, or like what was your crew back then? Do you have a crew now? Was like something that you're doing now with Electro?
So, first crew I was in. Well, we actually started it. Yeah.
Were you the one that started it, or it was like someone else? Or?
It was me, and it was like my one of my neighbors, my cousin, and we would call the crew XEL, which is stand for Exotic Electro Lovers, which is
Damn.
which is like what?
You don't want to hear mine.
But eventually, we grew up, and my first actual crew was Electro City. There in Bronzeville with Charlie and my cousin and a couple other guys.
Nice.
And I've definitely been in Elements of Electro with Tommy. And right now it's just like we're kind of all spread out, so we don't really have we can't even practice together and stuff, but eventually like, hey, like maybe something new is gonna born next year, you never know.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully, because this is why we're making this podcast, so that everyone that's watching or whoever's watching gets inspired, and maybe this is like makes you want to go back into dancing, or start dancing, or create something, and then goes from there.
Definitely. Now, quick question to you, and maybe this is something you can look up right now, but I wanted to ask you this question just on the spot. What's your favorite song of all time in Electro Dance? Like that, the best one, the best one of all time for you.
This Time by Anthony, Class remix was really good. This time.
Oh, that's an old one,
This
dude.
time. So I was obsessed with that song. That was the first one I was obsessed with.
I think I was like 12 or 13 years old when that thing came out.
That's crazy. It's a long time ago. I remember I was a lot into the Russian style electro, like electro trash, like the Marty Scanim, Dimitri
Marty
G.
Scanim, man.
So all those, like, I see them like so nostalgic, you know. I want to say it's just too much music. You can't even think off the top of my head.
Well, the top one.
Those are good ones. He already said the first one.
Oh, this
The
time?
first one, yeah. That one I feel like it's like way too like out of date.
No, but that's pretty much. I feel like if you don't know it, then you're new.
You're not the old school.
Is there any like projects or like any events, any dancer you want to shout out? You know, that you think people should look up to?
Yeah, absolutely. So the page Sync and Beat, we started the competition. We put it together, a competition back in 2022, and it was kind of like hopefully like a start of competitions. And it was actually labeled as Texas Electro Reunion, so we can have people from back then. So we definitely there's on the works. There's been on the works of an event, the second edition of Sync and Beat, and we're definitely shooting like early of next year, like hopefully around March or so. But as of now, like that's on mine, and also possibly a workshop in Houston. But
Dope.
there's definitely gonna be 2025 is gonna be a big year for Electro. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel that.
I mean, we're doing this, so and he's gonna be doing his work over there in Texas. I know SD dancers are doing their thing, so it's just we just have to put the work in, and then as in within time it's gonna grow. Shout out your social media right now, and then after that, can you answer to me? How was the experience of like you flying out Kurl-E? Because we heard from him that you flew him out. That was I think as a dancer that would be dope for someone to do that. But on your end, how was that experience? Having to do that for someone.
It was definitely badass to have finally united like the West Coast and California and Texas. So I knew I had to have someone for that event, and I could have maybe fly someone from Mexico, but I was like we gotta unite here in the States and kind of start that community. So it was really exciting. And Kurl-E, shout out to Kurl-E, he was definitely one of the OGs out here and the whole country. So just bringing him in, I was definitely hyped, and it was just exciting, man, because it was so long since we had a competition. And then we have special guests. Gambit was there, Arias was there, they're all from outside. They're all, Gambit and Arias are actually from the East Coast, so it was definitely awesome.
And then he had a knockout battle with Tommy Trash, right?
Oh yeah,
Kurl-E and Tommy Trash.
How was that?
How was that?
It was pretty awesome. And
Let's see. Were you did you already have planned that before, ahead of time, or how did you come up with that? Because that was a dope setup, having Kurl-E from the West Coast and Tommy Trash, which is I believe the most iconic of Texas. So having those two monsters come together to battle, how did you get that idea?
So yeah, I was gonna get the best ones to battle each other, right? So definitely Tommy and Kurl-E. But it's funny because I was, I had it in mind. I was it's definitely gonna be Tommy versus Kurl-E, or who's gonna be, But I was no, it's gonna be Tommy. And when I talked to Kurl-E, like without me even saying it, it was like, I'm Battle Tommy. I'm like, oh shit, you already know. You already know. So it was like, yeah, we had to get like the best ones to battle each other. And it was a great battle.
Because they've never battled before, right?
No.
Yeah, I think I've never seen them.
Never.
And
First time we all meet.
But that was just what you did there. That was just history.
Yeah.
You know, it's history
Yeah.
now. So that's dope. Shout out to Joy.
Yeah, shout out to Joy because of
Thank
that. So I want to ask you, kind of like as a closing remark, give 3 advices to newer dancers or someone that wants to start in electro. What would be the most important top 3 things that they should do in order for them to level up, I guess, fast or, you know, on a more solid way?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say just like be yourself when it comes to like dancing. Like have your own uniqueness, you know. But before that, try not to. I was very how do you say it? Very impatient because I would see other dancers to like pull moves like that, and I just want to say like. You know, it takes time to get to those levels where like you can, you know, just come up with stuff, and then the freestyle is just, you know, more advanced and all that. So it definitely requires time and patience. It's something that I was like always wondering, like, you know, how come I'm not dancing right and stuff. And a third one, I want to say, like with the music. Like I used to like think about like the music a lot, like beats, but at the end, like it's just like I feel like the music is the one that tells me what to dance to, if that makes sense. Like it's the one that comes up with my moves, not the music with me.
I like that.
Feel the music.
Yeah.
I struggle with that a lot.
Yeah. Definitely takes time.
Yeah, I really like that. Well, thank you so much, Joey, for being here with us and sharing with us the, you know, everything that has to do with the electro movement in Texas, your experience, and yeah, we're just really glad that we had you here in this podcast.
Yeah. No, thank you for your time. You know, hopefully me and Yvette could go out there sometime, you know, to Texas and you know, collaborate with other dancers.
Oh, we'd love to have you guys over there.
Yeah,
no, thank
that'd
you
be
guys.
tight. You know, that'd be tight to get a knockout with Tommy Trash. You know, why not? Hey.
Yeah.
But yeah, that definitely. Thank you for your time. You know, hopefully we could shoot another podcast again. You know, talk more about how everything is going with Texas and yeah.
Thank you guys for doing this. This is awesome. Appreciate it.
All right, perfect. See you next episode. Bye.
Oh shit, my bad. I have another question. Oh, okay. My bad. We just kidding. Hey, last question. Yeah, you know, so from the time you started till now, what keeps you going with dancing? Like, what's the motivation that keeps you, like, oh, you know, like, I want to keep dancing? Like, what's the reason why?
Dancing for me, I started. Well, I just love music since so young. Like I used to play the accordion. I was like in 3rd grade. I was playing the accordion. Like I was in music, and I've always liked performing and stuff. And dancing, dancing is what really stick to me because I like stopped playing instruments and stuff, and I just started dancing like full time, if you want to put it that way. And it's just something that I feel that it's like the best thing that I do. Like it's if they tell me what is one thing that you do good at, I feel like, hey, like I dance, and I feel like it's like the one thing that I'm like, okay, like I'm good at, you know, like I actually, you know, it's something.
Yeah.
So because you know, I see my history and I'm like, man, like I wish I can achieve more things and all that, but then I'm like, man, like as a dancer, like I've been in a long way. It's been, you know, a long path. Yeah.
I would like to say just like a final remark. I just want to give a shout out to Pancho, Francisco, Jorge, Eder, and Reyes, who were the dancers that I met when I went to Texas. And we had a session. We even have footage there. I've been lazy to kind of bring that up. And yeah, and I didn't see you there, but it was because you were busy and everything.
I was in Alaska.
Yeah,
I was pretty busy.
Yeah. So, but I would have really liked to meet you there, but now I meet you here, so I think that was pretty cool.
Which was a dope experience as well, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think that'll be good.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and make sure to subscribe. What's your social medias, and where can they find more about Electro Dance Texas?
Yeah, you can definitely follow the Sync and Beat page at Sync and Beat, and also my page Joey Akuna with a K. Okay. Yeah, I post a lot of videos dancing all the time, so yeah. For sure.
Yeah, definitely go follow him, make sure you tap in, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Joey Akuna, all the way from Texas, and this is my tutorial.